What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna have such a fun video because Tom Ford launched something new, and it launched in the Netherlands first. Call all the newspapers because this never happens. The Netherlands is not a mecca for beauty. Makeup does not launch here first. Every single time I see trend mood saying like launched in Europe, they mean countries like the UK, France, Italy, but things don't launch here in the Netherlands. But Glam Junkie on Instagram was like, well, you know what? Tom Ford came out with new correctors and they're in the Netherlands right now at the Bijenkorf. So any Dutchies watching, you can get a new Tom Ford corrector from the Bijenkorf. I'll put the link down below. Dutchies, it's our time to shine. Anyway, you can see I'm quite excited about it, but let's kind of talk to you guys about the details. I'll do the demo. I am wearing the corrector on one side, so I do have a wear test of about 7 hours already. So at the end of this video, I'll talk to you about my final thoughts and show you guys some of the footage that I have filmed already regarding this color corrector. Now, I was very much in the market for a new color corrector, but I do have a lot to say about this one. So let's just get started. So this is the new Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Radiance Enhancer Color Corrector. I paid a whopping 78 euros for this, so it's an expensive luxury product. With that said, it does feel very heavy, it looks very luxe, and there is a net weight in here of 5.4 milliliters or 1.8 fluid ounces. It comes in 3 shades. It comes in light, medium, and deep, and I decided to pick up the shade medium. The description on the website is in Dutch, so I will be reading it and translating it, and hopefully it will make sense once I'm translating it. But it says the Shade and Illuminate Radiance Enhancer is inspired by Tom Ford's philosophy to better facial architecture. It's an intuitive, skin-loving corrector that catches the light and gives you the appearance of strengthened skin with a dimensional glow. It's a hydrating skincare hybrid that's driven by color correcting peach pigment to minimize any discoloration and create a canvas of soft, light glow. You can wear this on its own, or you can just wear this underneath makeup, for example, foundation or concealer. It says on here it has a 6-month shelf life, which 6 months is not too much. And it definitely smells like some type of tea or something. It smells like skincare. Like the moment I applied it, I was like, okay, it smells like back in the day when I had acne. This is something that I would put on my face. When you go to the ingredient list, you actually see it has water as stated as the first ingredient and dimethicone as the second ingredient. This is a product that's going to be very high in silicones. So it's going to feel very silicone-like. If you've never tried anything that feels like silicone, it sort of gives you this kind of soft, I want to say almost like rubbery feeling, but it sinks into all the lines and makes it kind of look perfect. Now, not everybody enjoys having a type of silicone, dimethicone in their products. So if you're sensitive to dimethicone or you're staying away from products like this one, this is definitely not the product for you. In terms of how it looks on the skin, dimethicone or anything silica, like back in the day when we had those pore filling primers, remember the Benefit one that had like that film on top of it? Yeah, it actually made my skin look very beautiful. So I don't necessarily mind it, but I definitely think that's something that I need to tell the audience here, that there is dimethicone in this. The shade that I decided to swatch for you guys is the shade medium. I had a hard time finding like my shade because I'm a light medium complexion. So I was like, well, do I take a light or do I take a medium? I did buy both, but I already tried one of them and I'm not sure if I could afford keeping both. So the medium shade is this one. Like I said, I swatched it here already and kind of like blended it out, and you're gonna have definitely those peach tones in here. This feels luxe, it feels heavy. So although the 78 euros price point is insanity, by the way, I do feel like you're gonna get some good bang for your buck. And I'll tell you right now, you don't need a lot of this. Now, I didn't open this one yet. I just got it out of the carton because I wanted to see the shades. I don't think I'm able to keep this lighter one, but this is the light versus the medium. I haven't used the light one. I haven't used it. I only got it out of the package, but in the Netherlands, when you open something, like when you're actually opening the product, you can't return it anymore. So I don't know if I'm in the market to spend another 78 euros for this Shade and Illuminate Light, but part of me feels like maybe this was a better match for me. I don't know, like when they're in the case like this, they don't really look too different. I definitely thought, okay, I think I can stretch this out a little bit, but when you see the demo, I definitely feel like medium is a little bit too dark. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take off my makeup, and then I'm gonna reapply using on one side the medium corrector, and I'm gonna walk you through of like my thought process, why I chose this color, to showing you guys the demo, how it looks underneath makeup, because I am gonna be wearing this underneath makeup. I'm not gonna do a full beat like I did just now, but I wanna show you guys kind of how this works, and then I'll show you guys some footage at the end talking about my wear test and my final thoughts. Okay, so I zoomed you guys in, took off all my makeup. I'm wearing a little bit of moisturizer. That's about it for right now. Now I want you guys to, you know what, if I can get even a little closer. Oh, this is very intimate, but here we are. I think this is a good time to tell you guys you should subscribe to my channel. I want you guys to look at my skin. I feel like my skin looks pretty okay. I have some redness that I'm quite okay with. And the part that I'm definitely seeing more and more now that I'm 33, I am getting more discoloration. I think head on, especially when I'm looking into the light, it still looks okay, but you'll definitely see it a little bit when I tilt my head. You'll see it much more, and this is kind of what it looks like in real life, not using a lot of lighting. Same goes for on top of my eyelids. I'm getting a lot of discoloration on top of the eyelids and around my mouth. You see kind of, I want to say it looks a little bit like a 5 o'clock shadow, but definitely also darkness around my mouth. Now these are areas that will get a little bit more darkness because the skin is just different. It's more translucent, and you're gonna see what's behind that. I'm definitely starting to notice that when I use concealer, I actually can still often see these darker under eyes, and it's been bothering me a lot. I had been using the corrector from Charlotte Tilbury. It's a great corrector, but it's incredibly emollient. It's very hydrating, and I am oily combo, very oily underneath the eyes, so I'm gonna need a little bit more hold when it comes to my under eye corrector. But I want to show you guys what the medium one looks like. Now, in the original footage that you'll see where I did the wear test, this is the eye that I put the corrector, and this is the eye that I left bare. So I'm gonna do the same again for this demo for you guys. So here we have the under eye corrector, and my swatch I'm keeping on here because I want to show you guys how much of a strong hold this swatch is. Now the doe foot is quite intuitive, but it's actually quite large. You don't need too much. Put just a tiny bit of dots, and then we're going to blend it out. My favorite concealer brush is this one by BK Beauty. This is the 110. Now you see how that blended out, and it's already giving me that type of lift. This is incredibly smoothing. Like I said, it does have dimethicone in here, so you're gonna get that smoothing effect. I'm gonna go in with another layer, and this time I'm definitely gonna go in with a little bit more product. You can also blend it out with your finger, and when you do, you're gonna get much more of that orange tint. So this is the side with the corrector, this is the side without. I'm also going to put the corrector around my mouth on this side to show you guys the difference around my mouth area. And while we're at it, let's put a little dot of corrector over here and over here. So this is the face bare with a little bit of corrector, and this is the face completely bare, no corrector. And you'll definitely see there is a difference. I think going in with a brush, for me, was the way to go. The first time I used this, I went in with my finger, and it came out pretty orange. So I used way too much of this. So let's first talk about, you don't need to use that much. At the same time, it is buildable for your true medium skin girls out there. You can build up the peach tones. Now, I think it's best to use a concealer on top of this. For this demo, I'm going to be using my Tom Ford concealer. This is the Traceless Soft Matte Concealer. I have mine in the shade Ecru. beautiful concealer, by the way, but this is definitely a light coverage concealer, and sometimes when I use this, I could see my under eye bags through. So I want to show you guys what this looks like when I put a little bit of concealer on top. I'm going to put it on all my concealing areas and a little bit on this side, my pimply areas. Same on the other side where I put none of the corrector, so you guys can see the difference. I'm not going to powder this just yet. I just want you guys to see the difference between these two eyes. So again, this side, it has concealer, corrector, and on the other side, no corrector, only concealer. To finish off the under eyes, let's powder a little. I love the Charlotte Tilbury powder, Holy Grail. Again, let's show you guys the under eyes. The lip area. So first of all, I think that the demo showed you kind of what direction I'm going with my thoughts on this one, but I still want to walk you guys through everything. First, I want to talk packaging. This is Luxe, it's Tom Ford. You're gonna, pay a little bit for the brands, and I think that the price point is insane. So only if you have the money, you're interested in this brand, and you're looking for an under eye corrector, I feel like this should even be like where you want to be. Like, I know that there are a lot of affordable options out there, even luxury priced options. There's a lot of options. With that said, I do love the packaging. I like the Tom Ford experience. I'm slowly dabbling in a little bit more Tom Ford. I don't show a lot of Tom Ford on my channel because the launches are incredibly unpredictable. Like, sometimes they launch in Asia. Most of the time they launch things in the US, and I never see a launch here in the Netherlands. I try to pick and choose from the brand what I want, also because the brand is just very expensive. With that said, I like the packaging, I like the experience of opening it up. I think that there's a click system. It's a strong hold. It is a fingerprint magnet, but you know what? Most of Tom Ford products I think are, because I also have a palette, which is a fingerprint magnet, and this concealer also a fingerprint magnet. Now let's go into application. I think the demo kind of shows you what direction I'm going into when I'm talking about this product. It smooths out that area a little bit. Like, there's something about it that makes it look very nice and hydrated, but it doesn't feel that way. It kind of sets down like almost perfectly, and look, even the swatch, it's not going anywhere. So that is an incredibly nice thing to have, because you have some playtime, but the moment it sets, it sets. You feel it kind of, you feel like you put some type of primer on, if you know what I mean. But it's not going anywhere. It doesn't crepe, it doesn't crack. It's a beautiful base. So in terms of texture, I actually really like it for my under eyes. It seems to do really well for my under eyes. Then let's talk color. Now this, you definitely see, is quite peachy toned and deeper than I expected, I'm gonna be honest. But honestly, after this second demo, I feel like the light might be a little bit too brightening for me, and this is perfect for what I want to achieve. I think my biggest take back with this is don't use too much. I think the first time I used this off camera to just try and test out the formula, it like did exactly what I wanted to do, but it was just so deep in color. I think it's good for your medium toned girlies out there that this can be like as deep as you see here. But for your light medium girls out there, you can share it out like I did, but you don't have to use a lot. So it is pricey, but I think it's gonna take me a long time to finish this. 2 tiny dots, that's all. You can build it up if you want to. So the first time I tested this, which was this morning, I was like, I don't know if I see a lot of difference. But if I show you guys the footage of what I look like, and I also do kind of the eye trick of like moving downwards and then going upwards, I actually see quite a bit of difference. And I even asked you guys on Instagram if you guys could see a difference, and most of you voted the right eye. Like, most of you said like it's that eye, definitely one of the eyes. There's a less of an under eye bag, and subtle differences like this might not like look impressive, I think, to like the outside world, But to me, especially like looking at this now, I definitely see like my eye shape is a little bit different. I feel a little bit more awake, a little bit younger. Yeah, is that a thing? Like I definitely feel like that eye looks a little younger. And I used the Beautiful Skin Concealer, which is a medium coverage concealer from Charlotte Tilbury the first time around. And this time around, I used this concealer by Tom Ford, the Soft Trace, and both of them looked beautiful. So underneath a concealer, this Tom Ford Under Eye Corrector looks beautiful. So not only was the experience, the packaging quite beautiful, the texture is beautiful. I actually had a great time with both of these concealers, so both the liquid concealer and the stick concealer, when applying this. Maybe the difference isn't the biggest difference I've ever seen in my entire life, but you know what? I actually really like the end result. Now I am someone, I'm aging, so I want to move away from high coverage concealers. I don't want a crepey under eye. I don't want to feel a lot underneath the eyes. I like sheer coverage concealers like this, but I need a little bit more hold. I need a little bit more help with my under eye bags. The wear test was about 7 hours, and as you can see, there's a little bit of creasing. I have that, like my eyes want to do at least one line, and technically I didn't need to powder it. I do like to powder, especially in the hotter days, because you know, I'm very oily underneath the eyes. But both of these products were doing pretty well without powder, so did a great job. Like 7 hours, it looked great. So here are my final thoughts. I would recommend this if you're a lover of Tom Ford, you don't mind dimethicone, you like luxury packaging, like you care for kind of that luxury experience, you want something long wearing, you enjoy seeing those kind of subtle differences. I think this is a lovely under eye corrector. Truly, I hate to say it when something is this expensive, but I feel like it worked. I feel like, you know, the proof is in the pudding. Guys, let me know in the comment section down below of what you thought about this demo. Do you see the difference? And are you thinking about maybe picking up this under eye corrector as well? I'll definitely let you guys know in the community tab when this is available in other countries like the United States. If you like this video, make sure to thumbs it up. If you want to nerd out in the comment section with me, please do so. I love to nerd out about makeup. I love talking about makeup. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And guys, have a beautiful, happy day. It's nighttime over here, so I'm gonna bid you guys a good night, and I'll see you guys the next time. Bye. Also, before I leave, I've decided to just keep the medium and not the light. I've totally forgot to mention that, but I think the medium is fine for me.